The force field is the principal phenomenon that distinguishes the Abyss from other parts of the Made in Abyss universe. For delvers, it mainly manifests in the form of curses and blessings that vary in strength depending on the Abyss's layer. It's also responsible for other functions, such as the acquisition and distribution of nutrients, the propagation of light, the creation of wind patterns, and the designation of a living creature's life insignia. Though the origins of the force field are unknown, what is known by those who can detect it is that the field acts as a series of blankets that correspond to each respective layer. This means that the curse is actually a physiological reaction to piercing the force field's membrane during ascension. What's interesting is that the force field allows diffusion only when an individual moves downwards, thus sparing them from the curse of the Abyss. Many endemic creatures, if not most, that inhabit the Abyss, possess the ability to see the force field, and as such, can utilize it to predict other creatures' movements. Some Narehate, such as blessed varieties, and possibly even all Juso, are also capable of seeing the force field, although in a much more limited capacity. Finally, one of the currently least understood functions of the Abyss is its ability to imprint a life insignia on all living creatures. This life insignia is said to act as a signature that corresponds with a living organism's existence, somewhat similar to the concept of a soul. It is said that only organisms that come in contact with the force field acquire a life insignia, and thus can continue to exist in an altered capacity after their biological shell dies, although it's not known how or to what extent this concept applies. This life insignia is also the mechanism that allows white whistle users to communicate with their whistles or use them to activate the hidden functions of relics and interference unit-like entities alike, not to mention Juso as well. The curse, and therefore the Abyss as a whole, has been stated to also be known as the breath. One of the phenomenons associated with the breath is the 2,000-year cycle and the birthday disease. More on that in Chapter 13. One final speculation regarding the nature of the force field. It is stated by Srajo that the Abyss is theorized to be a large creature or the amalgamation of multiple creatures, also stating that the relics could also be the source of the Abyss's power. This theory, however, remains unproven. And with that, we conclude Chapter 3.